who is your target market? Because that's probably the most important question you'll ever need to be able to answer if you are a business owner. Whether you're a freelancer, whether you own a small business, or whether you are the executive board member at Google or Amazon, you need to be able to know your target market, your target customers. You need to be able to have target avatars for every single type of customer. There might be 3, there might be 5, there might be 20, depending on the size of the business and what you offer. But can you answer that question with confidence? Yes, you haven't got very specific pieces of information, but you will have avatars that represent your target customers. You might have 3, you might have 5, you might have 10, you might have 20, like I said. But they are there so that you are able to much more easily be able to identify with actual real life customers that you come across, whether it's online or in person, and help sell them on whatever you have to offer. That's the whole point of a target audience, your target market. Your total addressable market is whoever you're trying to sell to or offer services or products to. But many, many people don't know how to answer this question because they don't know who their target customers are. Now, this video, I actually want to step one step further ahead of just your target market, because I think you should be able to answer the question of who's your target customers. The answer really should be something along the lines of who your personal avatars are already. Which avatars do you already have in your target market? You should be able to say, if someone asks you who your target customers are, who's your target market, you should be able to say, well, there's about 3 to 5 different avatars. The age is this. This is the kind of age demographics, the kind of interest demographic, sorry, and generally, it's just a list of the avatars you have. And every business should have that before they even get started offering their services. Because in order to be able to offer services, you need to be able to know who you're selling your services or products to. Like, you're just selling to some random person you meet online or on the street. Like, unless you're desperate for products, or unless you're desperate for sales or to provide a service, then who do you actually sell to? And that's where your target customers come in. That's where the avatars that you create, you should at least not necessarily have personal avatar documents, so that's amazing, but at least like I have for my agency, I have an entire sheet that is our personal avatars. I have 3 at the moment. I'm going to work on them as I grow my new agency. I have kind of avatar 1, avatar 2, and avatar 3. I have basic interests, maybe slightly more personal interests, what their hobbies might be based on their age demographics and kind of hobby demographics, and go from there. And then one of the benefits of having this, just in general to do with target markets and target customers, is that personal avatars allow you to work out how to actually market to your target customers. Because it's not just going, okay, well, my product really works well with anyone aged between 18 and 35 that likes football or any kind of outdoor activity and likes to go down the pub with their mates and have a drink or whatever it might be, likes to go out, play football in the afternoon or whatever it might be, and they do this for work, typically they do this with their friend, they've got these types of friends. But knowing the intricacies of what their habits may be, what their hobbies might be, you get to work out the type of lifestyle this person has, and then you can market to that lifestyle. Because that's half the point of a target customer, is to, one, to be able to identify them so that you, when they come across you, whether it's inbound marketing, you're doing ads, or personal brand, your brand is being built, and you now can identify these people coming to you, or you're marketing to people outbound and you start seeing these people and then you identify them based on the avatars of the target customers you've created avatars for. That's half the reason. The other half, at least these are the 2 kind of sides I see, are the first half being being able to identify them based on the avatars you've made. The other half is just what I explained. When you have the descriptions and the details you've done based off target market research and product and service research, you get the idea of what you're actually providing a product or service for. Then you get the intricate details of that type of person, and then you actually know who you're selling to. And if you know who you're selling to, they're easier to market to. When you're selling to them, whether it's a one-on-one in person, or it's an online call, or some sort of VSL, video sales letter, like on YouTube or whatever it might be, or like a funnel to be able to go from a video to a website, whatever it might be, a landing page, by having an avatar, by having these avatars, one, it's being able to identify them yourself, and the other is being able to know how to sell to them. If you know the hobbies and interests that your target market has, then they're easier to sell to because you know what you're aiming for. It's a bit like in a battle or something. It would be like if you know all of your opponent's weaknesses or strengths, you then fortify or prepare for the battle based on those strengths or weaknesses. For instance, if it was the Middle Ages and you were if it was thousands of years ago and you were a warlord, you were a warlord or a leader trying to take over the lands, you would take some scouters to go off and research the strengths and weaknesses of these other nations and these other leaders. And then you would use those strengths and weaknesses to your advantage to capitalize on winning those battles and taking advantage of those nations and whatever. But in terms of morals and ethics of actual modern day, business and solving problems for people with your products or services, we use the strengths, the habits, the hobbies, and the personalities of our target customers to be able to offer our products or services to them. If we know that people are agreeable, or we know that someone likes this sport over another sport, we can market our services or products based on the interests of those things. People don't want to be sold this random thing that you offer. They want you to show interest in their thing and then use that as the kind of almost Trojan horse. This is kind of what Trojan horses are based off. Kind of a positive Trojan horse to be able to incentivize them to want your product or service. And this isn't for any negative intent either. We're generally trying to save and help people. We're trying to save them money in some way. If it's for services, normally you're trying to help them make more money as a business. But people don't really care about making more money generally, although they think they do. They actually care about their personal interests. If you appeal to someone's personal interests, then it helps you help them by you appealing to their interests. They then want to know more about you and have more interest in you because you've appealed to their interests, and then you can help them with your product or service. And this is what drop shipping and e-commerce people do with marketing. They say, how badly, it's like for instance, people that sell the massive, say those big, comfortable, sleeping bag sized jumpers and hoodies that are full body, length hoodie things that are whatever material it is, but really soft, cushiony material. They say, oh, how these are so badly comfortable, I really want them, my partner wants them so bad. It appeals to that interest of the comfort and wanting to snuggle up with your partner or whatever on the sofa or a couch or whatever it might be. It's appealing to those just desires and interests to be able to help someone want that thing or want that service. So that's what your target customers are for. And although that was an 8-minute rant about customers and your target customers, I want to emphasize the true point of this video, which is if you didn't understand or didn't think about any of that before, definitely do that and take that away. But the next level of this is going beyond just your target market. Because one of the most important things that I've certainly realized, and I'm glad I've realized it this early on into starting business and working with clients, is understanding how to address the future target market and people that aren't yet your target customers that might become your target customers. Because we've got to remember, people are always changing. People are changing their lives all the time. A lot of people don't change, unfortunately, but some people do. People change their habits, friendships, relationships, whatever it might be. And so, for instance, unfortunately, we live in a world where, people divorce. And so some businesses, for instance, may want to, it might be a random thing, not even connected to relationships or divorces. However, the fact that someone may have gone through a divorce that they didn't think was going to happen a year or two ago or 6 months ago has now made them a potential target customer for maybe, I don't know, a certain gift box collection or a certain type of day out or a certain type of holiday. Or now they're into this new thing because they've gone through a divorce or because they've lost a friend or loved one or whatever it might be. Things that we don't expect to happen. We have to look at the potential outcomes of this thing. It could be, younger married people. It's an unfortunate thing, but younger married people may have a higher tendency for maybe splitting up or something. So there's a possibility there. And although we don't want to look at the negatives, we have to look everywhere as businesses to see how we can help people in any aspect of every area of their life for whatever reason. I'll give you a more positive example. Divorce. We don't want to talk about divorce, but maybe it's something like, let's say, young adult guys, maybe 16 to 18 plus. They loved outdoor activities like football, golf, hockey, whatever it might be. Say football and tennis, whatever it might be. But over the next few years, 5 or 10 years, whatever, they may start loving other sports, or maybe go into gaming, or a gamer that becomes a more outdoorsy person. People change their hobbies and their activities and genres of their life all the time. So it's not just about addressing the target customer, it's about addressing potential target customers that enter your market. And it's about addressing those areas before they enter into the target market zone. Because if we can identify people that aren't yet our perfect ideal target customer, we can market to them before they've become it. Because don't forget, we're not just trying to market to their interests and their hobbies. We're using these as channels to be able to appeal to their interests, to help them with the product or service we want to offer them. But if they aren't yet in these channels of hobbies and interests or personality types yet, we are looking at the kind of preliminary hobbies, interests, and personality types they have before they enter this type of or stage in life. So without complicating it too much, we now want to look at people that haven't yet found what is our target customer. So when you're thinking about target customers in any type of business, product or service based, think about your target customer. Hit the mic, sorry. Think about your target customer. And then think about people that might become the target customer maybe at some point in their life, whether it's a year, 6 months' time, a year's time, 3 years' time, 5 years' time, 10 years' time. Because this also helps you with the overall lifetime of your business. If you're thinking more than just a year ahead or 2 years ahead, think about 5, 10, 15, 20, 40, 50 years. Next lineage, next generation of your family. And people that will become potential customers, people that will become part of your potential target customer, target market. So as well as just thinking about your target customer, think about how people will fall into the zone of your target customer. Because you don't just want to be waiting for customers. You need to be looking ahead for when people will fall into your target customer avatars, and then marketing as well to those people that will soon to be your target customer. Because when you can look at them, you can actually identify, kind of where they might, you're basically almost looking at all the different personality types of people, hobbies, interests, desires, types of relationships they have, length, duration of relationships they've been in with, all the type of people. And you're seeing where patterns cross and where, this is our target. These are our types of target, number 1, 2, and 3 kind of enter into our target customers more than any other type of person. But we know that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 also tend to slip into our target customers in a few years' time, or in, in their later life or whatever. And it's identifying those patterns and trends to be able to see when people will fit into your target customer kind of avatar and space. And by understanding that and, finding people that are amazing at pattern recognition and identifying trends, and especially in people and personality types, we can really address our target market and market to those potential customers in the future. And then we can really help grow the business and help them for the long term, wherever they are now, whether they are our target customer or whether they're going to be our target customer in the future, and market to that now. So there we go. Bit of a longish rant, but I hope that helps you with identifying kind of your target customer, target market, and more importantly, your future target market. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.